Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video for my Addisons web series. Now, one thing I will say, if you're following all these videos from the beginning to end, you may notice some redundancies where I repeat myself or talk about things I've talked about in other videos, and I'm doing that because I don't know what videos some of you have watched or haven't watched, because I don't expect everybody to watch all 22 videos completely. I expect people will pick and choose topics that seem interesting or fitting to them, so please excuse if you are watching this from beginning to end and there is redundancies and times where I repeat myself, because I will be doing it a little bit in this video, but I will be discussing a couple different things that I didn't talk about in previous videos. Anyways, as you see, this one is titled After the First Year. I debated on making this one or not, because in the beginning it kind of flows the same with After the First Year, but there are a few different things to talk about though, because this is after the first year of being on the medication completely, not within the first 6 months of going on the medication. That's what in the beginning is. So anyways, after the first year, things you will notice is you will gain your weight back to your normal weight, to where you were before. Your skin color will lighten up. With Addison's disease, you usually are on the darker side of your skin tone, but as the years go by, as you can see, you'll pale out like I do. You will get pale. But some people may, it really just depends, everybody's different. Everybody's different with their skin tones and their coloring, so it really is just depending on what your natural skin tone is and what your family's is to where you will be. I've come out a little bit more paler after 10 years. Your blood pressure will rise back up again. You'll feel more awake. You'll get your eye color back, because that's one thing I lost with getting sick with my Addison's disease. I lost my eye color a little bit, and actually a lot. And that is one telltale way to know if you are getting kind of sick or relapsing a little bit, is your eye color will disappear a little bit. And when that starts happening, you know you are going into a Addison's crisis. Your salt cravings will go away completely. Like I said in the beginning video, the first 6 months, you will still have your salt cravings, but after a year, they pretty much do disappear. And if you're a person who genuinely likes salty foods like chips, soy sauces, cheeses, then you will still find that you're going to want those foods, of course, but you're not going to be craving it as bad as like you could just eat a salt cube and find it to be the most delicious thing, because that's how bad I was. For me, I got sick around the start of puberty, and I lost my development, and as soon as I got on the steroids after 6 months, I started developing everything correctly again. And I know that pretty much will be the same for men as it is for girls, as it is for boys. I want to say men and women, but when you're that young, you're not a man, you're not a woman. For girls and boys, it'll be the same thing. To know more about puberty and Addison's and how it affects, definitely check out the puberty and Addison's video, because that will discuss in depth a little bit more of some of the issues that will go along with it, with your Addison's disease and dealing with puberty. Now, I'm shorter than I'm supposed to be, and this is going to happen probably if you are someone who got your Addison's disease at the start of puberty. I'm supposed to be about 5'9". I'm 5 foot even and not moving at all. And that's because I started the steroids at the exact time that the estrogen would have kicked in that gives me my height. Now for boys, I'm pretty sure it's not estrogen that kicks in, to give you your height, but I know for women that's what it is. And the steroids stunted my growth, so I'm supposed to be 5'9", but I am 5 foot even. I'm a little shorty because of my steroids and starting them when I did. But if you're an adult, you won't lose your height at all. That's not going to be an issue. But if you were at the start of puberty, that can be something that you will have to deal with. So if you have a child, like let's say the parents are tall, the dad's like 6 foot, mom's 5'9", and you have a son or even a daughter, and they start their Addison's disease and start their steroids, and you notice they didn't get as tall as they probably should have been, you can go see a bone specialist, and they will explain it to you even more and talk about it and tell you if that is what the issue is. But I'm pretty sure, because that's what happened with me. We were wondering why I wasn't growing, so I went to a bone and growth specialist at Children's, and that's what they told me, that the steroids stunted my growth, and that really, really sucks. And as time goes by, after being on it for a year, you will find that you do get a little bit more of your stamina back. You are able to work a little better. I will say work a little better because I was 11 at the time. After a year, I was at 12 years old. I didn't have a job, but I will say that you will probably be able to start working a little bit better, though you may find that you may not be able to continue the job that you are in. I do have Working in Addisons that will discuss that a little bit more in depth for you, and how to deal with it and the problems that will arise with working in Addisons. Now, I will say there's not much that will really change within the first year with Addisons, but you will definitely notice a lot of change if you did hit death's door with Addison's disease like I did. You will notice a lot more day-to-night changes, but it's very subtle changes. But you basically will go back to what you were before. Changed, but you will go back to what you were before. And one thing that you will notice is, I got notes here to better help here. I'm trying to make sure I'm saying everything. And one thing you will just notice is that you are changed, but you are better. And there's just a lot of things, a lot of issues. Like I said, this video was a little bit of a redundancy too in the beginning, but I did want to explain it because I wanted to discuss the height issue, eye color, and just tell you that after the first year you will be able to go back to life as normal. And truthfully, when you first get diagnosed, you may possibly have to take time off work to really recuperate and take care of yourself and get your health back on track. So really the first year you pretty much come back to life, your medication gets stabilized, you figure out what you can and can't do, you know what's too much for your body. You'll start seeing where Addison's disease will play a part with emotional and physical stress. You will see, you will go through your first cold and flu season, and you'll see how that affects your body getting sick with Addison's disease and the changes and how to deal with things. You'll see your first stress dose, possibly your first need for the shot kit. I know within the first year of me getting my Addison's disease, I got rotavirus, which is the childhood version of noro, and I had to use my shot kit then. So I was terrified of what it would be like using my shot kit, and I was really always scared because I got so close to death, and I was afraid that when I went to use my shot kit, I was like, oh my god, if I have to use my shot kit, that means I'm gonna die because the doctor said if I don't take it, I'm gonna die. Oh no, what's gonna happen? I was really, really scared. So truthfully, having to use my shot kit within the first year was kind of nice for everybody involved. My mother realized how to do the shot kit, in the heat of the moment, and, calling the ambulance, and my dad getting stuff together, getting in the car, heading to the hospital, dealing with the whole situation together. So truthfully, it was nice to have to use my shot kit early because I did get an idea of what it was like, and I'm not so scared now because I know it's not as scary as it sounds, because it's like, you gotta get that shot kit in there when you gotta get your shot when you're sick, and you gotta do this, and it sounds really scary, and once you go through it, you realize that you don't have to get your shot immediately, but as soon as possible, and, it's just a whirlwind of things, and like I said, it's a long, hard road back to healthy, but once you are healthy, you just do notice subtle changes, and it's definitely a very changed and a very complicated life. So I really do suggest you stick around and watch the rest of the videos, or definitely check out as many as possible, because they will definitely help educate you from a non-medical standpoint, and the fact that you will see what it's really like to deal with it, not just numbers on paper and medication levels. So thank you for watching, and I will definitely see you guys in the next video.